The concept of a Satanic New World Order (NWO) manipulating global warming to control the population is a theory that has gained significant attention in recent years. This idea suggests that a group of powerful, secretive individuals or organizations are orchestrating a global agenda to deceive the public about the existence and severity of climate change, with the ultimate goal of establishing a totalitarian regime. Proponents of this theory argue that the NWO is using the threat of global warming as a pretext to impose stringent regulations, restrictions, and surveillance on the population, ultimately leading to a loss of individual freedom and autonomy. According to this narrative, the NWO is allegedly comprised of influential individuals, corporations, and governments that have infiltrated and manipulated various institutions, including the United Nations, the media, and educational systems. These entities are said to be working in tandem to fabricate or exaggerate the science behind global warming, using scare tactics and misinformation to create a sense of urgency and panic among the public. Their ultimate objective, as claimed by proponents of this theory, is to create a global crisis that would justify the implementation of a one-world government, where the NWO would have absolute control over all aspects of society. One of the primary arguments put forth by advocates of this theory is that the science behind global warming is flawed or incomplete. They claim that climate change is a natural phenomenon that has occurred throughout Earth's history, and that human activities are not the primary cause of the current warming trend. Some even argue that the Earth is actually entering a cooling phase, and that the NWO is using manipulated data and fake news to conceal this fact. However, the overwhelming majority of the scientific community disagrees with this assessment, citing extensive evidence from multiple lines of research that human-induced greenhouse gas emissions are indeed the dominant cause of the current global warming trend. Another key aspect of this theory is the alleged role of the United Nations in promoting the NWO agenda on global warming. The UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) is often cited as a prime example of how the NWO is using international institutions to manipulate the narrative on climate change. Proponents of the theory claim that the IPCC is dominated by NWO operatives who are selectively presenting data and suppressing dissenting views to create a false consensus on the urgency of the climate crisis. However, this claim is not supported by the facts, as the IPCC is a transparent and inclusive process that involves thousands of scientists and experts from around the world, and its reports are subject to rigorous peer review and public scrutiny. Despite the lack of credible evidence to support the claim that the NWO is fabricating global warming, this theory has gained significant traction among some segments of the population. The internet and social media have played a significant role in spreading this misinformation, with many blogs, websites, and YouTube channels dedicated to promoting the idea that climate change is a hoax. Some individuals have even become influential figures in the climate change denial movement, using their platforms to spread conspiracy theories and misinformation to millions of followers. In conclusion, the idea that the Satanic New World Order is manipulating global warming to control the population is a baseless conspiracy theory with no credible evidence to support it. The overwhelming scientific consensus is clear: human-induced climate change is real, and it poses a significant threat to the environment, human health, and the economy. Rather than being a pretext for a totalitarian regime, the threat of climate change is a legitimate concern that requires a collective and coordinated response from governments, corporations, and individuals around the world. By promoting factual information and critical thinking, we can work together to address the real challenges posed by climate change, rather than being distracted by unfounded conspiracy theories.